Guess I had my mic muted. Sorry about that. Nefarious Wes, hey, welcome to the stream. Thanks for coming in, man. Guess I gotta check my mic first. Alright, get the dog out of the way here. And switch my TV. Alright. Let's do some Lightning Force. Hey Brandon, welcome to the stream, my friend. How's the balance between game audio and my voice? Good? Wes, this is on Switch. This is the M2 Sega Ages port. And it has both Lightning Force and the Japanese original Thunder Force 4. And you can switch between it. And it also includes the functionality that was in the Thunder Force Gold Pack 2 release. Whoops, on the Saturn. Well, that was dumb. Where you can play through Thunder Force 4 as the sticks from Thunder Force 3. Oh, good grief. I am getting a poor start. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm gonna sacrifice this last life and start over. Oh, game audio could go up a bit, huh? Okay, well, let's turn that up just a little bit. Yeah, I'm not even going to have a high score for that. That was kind of pathetic. I did much better at lunch, at work. Sure, why not? As I've mentioned many times, and on my previous streams where I played this, or previous stream where I played this, this is my favorite shoot 'em up of all time. So this game is just incredible, and it's one that for many years I have definitely enjoyed. Yeah, you suck at shooters when you talk at the same time. Yeah, I think probably most of us do. I did okay the other day when I was playing through it, so, but I kind of bombed out on stage 6, so I'm hoping to improve a little bit. Oh, bad timing. That was awful. The challenge, score on 1 credit, yes. Yeah, just as with all the games that we do in the Shmup Club there on RF Gen, it's just try to do as well as you can, post whatever high score you can get. Doesn't necessarily have to be on a single credit, but obviously, the score is only going to really go up there if you're doing 1 credit, and it's kind of an honor system. It's not really for any serious competition, it's more just for fun. So there we go, at least get the claw back. Good grief. And I lost my railgun too, which is very upsetting, but that's alright. I actually found that if you go for that hidden freeway that I got, it's down at the bottom right corner of the screen when you go underwater and go ahead just a little bit. The freeway is actually the best way to fight this boss because the blade, as powerful a weapon as it is, it's so big and chunky. Its sprite is so big that it has trouble targeting the orb at the base of the gargoyle diver, I should say. And so it takes longer to whittle down the health of that thing for it to turn red, and then it also means that you're more exposed because you don't have there are more opportunities for it to jump out and chase out at you. That's not as big of a deal in Lightning Force, but in the original Thunder Force 4, the orb, when it jumps out and chases after you, is much more aggressive. See right there, it's already orange. So boom, now I've already weakened it quite a bit already. And in the Japanese version, the orb is way faster and it chases you longer. So what you have to do is basically position yourself, boom, so you can get a basically make a circle around it, and then move back to the left side of the screen or out of its way. So a bit of a strategic thing with that boss. Ah! I went down too far. Rats! Man, oh my gosh. I am just playing terribly today. I did so well at lunch, too. I felt good. I made it to stage 8 and even made it to the boss. Didn't quite beat the boss, but, you know, I still felt pretty good about that. Since it's been a couple of years since I picked this game up seriously. You know, you still have some of that muscle memory. But, wow, that was bad. There we go. Got me one up to help cover for those lives that I lost rather pathetically. Alright, this is where it gets hairy for a second or two. Come on. There we go. Okay, I think that's it. Yep. Oh, you always play Thunder Force 4 over Lightning Force, huh? Is that just, what's the reason for that? I mean, this is what I grew up with, so it's what I'm used to. And I'm finding, as I started playing Thunder Force 4, that it is definitely more difficult than Lightning Force. There were some definite concessions made for the Western version, as with many games, but yeah, the gargoyle diver and his attacks being faster and more aggressive, and some of the enemy patterns and stuff being more aggressive or whatever. Boom. Oh, well, yeah, the name Lightning Force is kind of dumb. I'll agree with that, Wes. It's not fantastic, but, you know, it makes a weird sort of sense if you think about it from the perspective of you're using the Thunder Sword that you get at the end of Stage 5 to lighten the sky, so you become a lightening force. That's about the only way I can justify or explain it. Otherwise, yeah, it is pretty lame. But the game itself is amazing either way. I mean, Thunder Force 4, Lightning Force, whatever. Either game is top-notch in my book. Whoa. Get my railgun back. And somewhere, I don't remember when, I think it's either during or right after the snake, I can snag a 1-up. You can usually take him out pretty quickly with the blade. If you kind of target right there in the front and kind of favor the upper portion of... I don't remember where... There it is! Yeah. Yes, this boss, you struggled with it last night. Yeah, me too. This is one of the harder bosses, I think, just to start with, because he's got some relatively cheap attacks. That's why I've got my, one of the reasons I'm at 100% speed is because I've tried to get used to that in order to battle this this boss on the Dazer level, because it's not the missiles fly really fast, and the tiny little fireballs that come out in succession, they're hard to see, somewhat hard to see against the background, and so they get a little lost. You know, he's hard to hit, even with the strong blade weapon. He's hard to hit because of the constant spinning orbs around him, until you start to whittle his health away and those go away. But then you get chased around by the singular orb that is pretty dogged and won't leave you alone. And since I don't have the snake weapon anymore, I can't just run up and down on the course here and let's get some shield loss there. I guess I can use the freeway on that a little bit. Oh, that's pretty good. Pretty good way to go there. There we go. Just keep flying right there. Let me pelt you with missiles. That's it. A little more. Boom. Love it. Freeway is a really good weapon if you can learn to really work it. Unfortunately, like when you watch the demo, it shows using freeway in this level, and when I use freeway in this level, I tend to go all over the place, and I run into bullets and missiles and everything else. So I stick with the blade and then switch it up when I need to grab an extra enemy or like here. And I should get a shield refresh here shortly. Do ya? Freeway in this stage. That makes sense. I mean, like I said, if you can manipulate it well, it's a great weapon. You just have to know when to move, when you can stay in place, and when to adjust a little bit so that you can make those missiles go where you want them to go. So it's just not a skill set that I mastered very well. Plus the blade helps me compensate a little bit for my moving around and all of that. You know, I can kind of it cuts such a wide swath that I can kind of just move around and hit stuff just because I'm in proximity. Oh, I must have taken a hit there. And there should be a new craw right there, or claw. I don't know if it's craw or claw. And then this should be a blade up here. Another bonus. And a couple more spots here. Ah, I hate that guy. One up. Always gets the deal. And now the easiest boss in the game. All you have to do is fly around a little bit, avoid the purple rings o' death, blast the missiles back here until... Whoops! Oh, I spoke too soon. Didn't have my thing lined up very well. And then freeway actually works pretty good for this. And then just pelt him with blade since it's a high damage weapon. And there you go. Hopefully I can survive. Oh my gosh! And I just completely ruined that. Oh, that was terrible. Oh, that was even worse. Good grief. Man, I have not struggled with this so bad. In a while. Oh, really? Yeah, I usually do okay on this stage, but that first batch of enemies, it's a real... Ah! You are a jerk. Yeah, I don't have my groove for sure. Oh my gosh. You are just being the worst. Holy crap. Well, this is definitely not going to be a 1cc run tonight. I am stinking up the joint here. Man, oh man. Whew. Yeah, I usually don't have that much of a problem with Stage 5, but I did not start it off well. Hmm. Whoa. Alright. Stage 6 is where I was struggling before, but... Oh my gosh! I am just playing terribly right now. Wow. I have absolutely no game tonight. Alright. Let's see what I can do here. This, the sort of almost mini boss right before the boss, this guy, is such a pain. This guy was giving me so much trouble. Oh, you gotta be kidding me! Well, the hitbox is a little bigger than I remember. Oh, bummer. Well, give this another try. Yeah, the boss on stage 6 is pretty bad. Pretty nefarious, if you'll allow the pun. He's pretty much almost the second hardest boss in the game, probably behind, or maybe, yeah, maybe the second hardest boss in the game. Really not my favorite. All right. Back up. There we go. Better. Much better. Alright, well that's a much better way to start out the stage. You haven't beat Lightning Force, or you haven't beat Thunder Force 4, Wes? Oh, neither. Wow. Yeah, I haven't beat Thunder Force 4 yet. But I beat Lightning Force on, well, I beat it on easy a bunch of times as a kid. Like, a bunch of times. But I'm trying to go back. This is on normal. So I'm trying to go back and get a legit normal clear here as an adult. And then, assuming that I can accomplish that in short order, what I may do is try and get a clear on hard. And then go back and do normal on Thunder Force 4. Because of the additional difficult stuff with that, over and above the Western version. And then if I can get a clear on normal on Thunder Force 4, I'll be tempted to I'm tempted to go back and try to possibly get a clear on what you call it, Mania. Either Mania on Lightning Force or hard on Thunder Force 4. We'll see. We'll see how how quickly I can get through normal on Lightning Force, and then whether I want to try to go for, you know, those other goals. I mean, I do want to legitimately clear Lightning. Oh, you gotta be joking me, man! I just keep shooting myself in the foot. Yeah, I do want to legitimately get a clear of Thunder Force 4, though, because, I mean, oh my gosh, I did this to myself last time. I'm just having a heck of a time here. Probably because I'm jabbering instead of paying attention. But, I do legitimately want to get a clear of the game on... of Thunder Force 4, not just Lightning Force. Yes, I did watch Schmuckmaster's Thunder Force 4 video. It was awesome, and I probably should go watch it again. In fact, and I should probably also share that video in the thread on the forum for this so that people can see that. Ooh, I got a one up. Okay, here we go. Oh, you're kidding me! Man, that's the problem with using the 100% speed. I shoot myself in the butt. Oh, man. Yeah, well, I like to keep talking to you know, keep engagement going. Of course, he's going to take a little longer with without the blade. But at least well, I thought the freeway was going to help until I let myself just get completely killed. Good grief. The hitbox is small when I'm by these bullets, but man, it is not so small when I've got obstacles. Yeah, see, I used to play at 50% all the time. But I've started to play a little bit faster because I've kind of got used to needing to be faster in games like Gradius and R-Type in order to maneuver around stuff. So, probably a little bit of a symptom of that. Alright. Get out of here. Oh, just dodged that. Ooh, that's a relief. I don't think I'm going to have another chance at a... I don't remember if I've got another chance at a... claw before the end of this level or not. And I missed the one up. Rats. Oh, there's my claw. That's right. So I get the claw. And then you get a second chance at... and this level's harder in Thunder Force 4 too, because there are ships that come in from behind in this section. Yeah, so it's definitely more difficult. Yo! These are hard to spot. It's cool though that M2 was able to do such a great job with the emulation on this and emulate the slowdown of the Genesis. And it's pretty accurate. I mean, it really does. It really does the game justice. And it feels like I remember it playing it on real hardware. There we go. Anyway. And this soundtrack is just amazing. I mean, every track in this game. Every track. is just stellar. Every song is outstanding. And I know that it was two different composers. One guy favored the more heavy metal sound and one favored the more electronic motif. But both are just amazing. Clockwise, yeah. Yeah, I like to go for I like to go straight and then ruin, because I can get the hunter, even though I tend to not pick it and use it. I like to have it in case I need it. You know, if I lose a life with the blade and then I don't have, or I don't have freeway or something like that, hunter can come in handy in some situations that might otherwise be a bit too precarious. Yeah, see, Thunder Force 3's got a great soundtrack, but I know a lot of it is just familiarity and bias, but I think this has just a killer soundtrack, and probably, in my opinion, this is Technosoft's finest hour on the Genesis and soundtrack-wise. But again, I'm biased. Alright, this is where I should probably just go ahead and use this, because I can avoid a lot of this nonsense by just using Hunter. And if I take a hit, I know there's another shield waiting for me. I haven't played Thunder Force 5 yet. I actually just recently picked up a copy on the Saturn, just within the last few weeks. I haven't played it yet because I've been focusing on other things. I mean, the other Shmup Club games and stuff like that. But I definitely need to dig into it. I do have a Thunder Force 5 story, though. I had a copy of Thunder Force 5 for the PlayStation in my hand back in, what, 99 or 2000, something like that. And it was at a local video rental store that I used to go to. Actually local here where I'm living again now. But I lived here like 20 years ago, and they were asking $30 for it. And of course, at the time, I was buying used PlayStation games for 10, 15 bucks. You know, they were selling on the cheap. Oh, I missed the. Oh no, I didn't miss it. And so I didn't want to pay anything for a used game. And so I Round 2 Gaming, hey, welcome to the channel. And you're on Stitch, huh? Cool. I'll have to find you on there. But yeah, they wanted like 25 or 30 bucks for it. And I decided I wasn't going to pay that much because I didn't want the game. I didn't want to play Thunder Force 5 and then have it not live up to my expectations based on how much I like this. Needless to say, that was stupid. And American copies of that now go for ridiculous money, because I didn't know at the time that working designs wasn't going to be a thing forever. So anyway, live and learn. But thankfully, I've got the other shooters that they brought to the U.S. Ray Crisis and Ray Storm. Ray Storm, of which is one of my favorites on the PlayStation. So eventually I'll get it, but I do have the Saturn version, and so I need to dig into that at some point. I've heard that it's really good, and I know there are people who prefer that to 3 and 4, but I think on the whole, 3 and 4, Thunder Force 3 and 4 is kind of the eternal debate, much like Mega Man 2 and 3. You know, there are people in both camps, and for me, I'm in the Mega Man 3 camp, and I'm in the Thunder Force 4 camp. So that's how I roll. You can time it right, you can charge the Thunder Sword and take him out with four or five blasts, I want to say. Boom. And then on to the boss. Wow, you've only beaten Thunder Force 5 once, huh? I would have assumed that you, as skilled as I've seen you be, that you would have maybe taken it down more than once. All right, there we go. On to stage 7. Heck of a deal. This is where it ramps up a little bit. Although the last few times that I've been in here, I've managed to do reasonably well. Oh, there's that freeway. Alright, shield refresh. Desperately needed. I really dislike these guys that orbit around you. They really get in the way and make it hard to take stuff out. Alright, this snake can sometimes be a a real pain. Whoop, that was not smart. Oh, that was even less smart. Oh, man. Dumb, 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 dumb. Really dumb. Oh, my gosh. Okay, now I'm just playing like garbage. Yikes. Okay, not having a blade against this boss is not going to be good. This should help with the initial damage to get him to come out of his... come up off the ground. Yeah, it is a commitment. And that's the thing. You know, that's the thing about the Shmup Club is, you know, it's just a month that I'm dedicating to each one of these games. And so, yeah, some of them will take longer. This one's easy for me to go back to because I have a decent amount of muscle memory for it, and, you know, and a lot of funness for it. And so it's going to be easier to warrant putting in the time. And I ought to be able to get a clear within less than a month. And the last time I put a significant amount of time into the game, I got almost to the end of the game within a week. So... Oh, you are a real pain when you're... There we go. This should be a relative safe spot. Unfortunately, it means I'm not going to hit him very much with my forward missiles because I'm spending half of the time fending off all these other missiles that he's shooting at me. So it's kind of a war of attrition. Or a battle of attrition, I should say. You're just whittling him down. This is way faster with the blade weapon. I probably would have had him gone by now. There we go. Those laser guys, those tiny little laser dudes are A major pain. They cause me a whole lot of grief. Oh, I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that pattern. Or that part of his pattern. Rats. Oh, man. That was bad. Oh. And I ran right into that. Yeah, these guys are just jerks. Oof. And I'm down to my last life. I'm not gonna last long here. Yep, I didn't think so. Oh yeah, this is... Yeah, well this is a difficult stage because it's almost a mini boss rush. Because you've got that first one with the big orb, then you've got this one with the 4 enemy generators that you have to destroy. Then you've got one with the snake that has the similar kind of vulnerable orb in it that you have to target, but it whips its tail around, and so you kind of have to watch it and figure out where it's going to go. And then I think, if I remember correctly, that's the last sort of mini boss. And then the final boss can be difficult to deal with because it shoots all these, it throws all these bugs at you and pushes the ship up. So you have to be careful so it doesn't push you all the way up to the top and into the ceiling where you will die. Or take a hit if you have a shield. So it's very, very tricky. Oh, let's see. Oh, I think that is where I'm going to call it for tonight. I've got another stream I wanted to watch, and wanted to go ahead and do that. But thank you, Wes, and others for joining into the stream, and hopefully we can do this again sometime. I'll be streaming here pretty frequently now that I finally have the equipment to do it, and now that I got my OSSC, once I get some cables, I'll be able to start doing more retro stuff as well, which is going to be right up my alley. So thanks, guys, and we'll see you next time.